The countdown is officially on. Get ready for UFC 328, where the main event pits champion Khamzat Chimaev against former title holder Strickland in a clash fueled by months of intense animosity. We break down the explosive predictions and the undeniable hype surrounding this middleweight title fight that is set to redefine the division. This is the action you cannot miss.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we dive into the welterweight scene as Carlos Prates makes a bold statement, calling for a title fight after his impressive win at UFC Perth. Prates insists he can make it look easy against former champions like Leon Edwards, and we explore the rising contender status he is aggressively pursuing in the division. The fallout from that Perth event is massive, and Jack Della Maddalena's team has released a statement following his brutal third-round TKO loss to Carlos Prates. We examine the devastation Della Maddalena suffered and what this means for his path back to the top of the UFC welterweight rankings. And finally, we look at the big picture with Amanda Nunes, who openly stated she doesn't care about card placement for her potential fight against Kayla Harrison at UFC 324. Find out exactly what the Lioness wants and why this matchup is generating so much buzz. Don't miss the rest of the action. Stay tuned right here. The Ultimate Fighting Championship is gearing up for a high-stakes event this weekend with UFC 328, scheduled for Saturday, May 9, 2026, at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. The card is headlined by a highly anticipated middleweight title clash between reigning champion Khamzat Chimaev and former title holder Strickland, a bout reportedly fueled by months of intense animosity. The co-main event features another title fight as flyweight champion Joshua Van defends his belt for the first time against rising Japanese contender Tatsuro Taira. This matchup holds significance as it represents the first UFC title fight between two fighters born in the 2000s. Analysis of the main event suggests a dynamic contest, pitting Chimaev's elite wrestling against Strickland's underrated defensive grappling, though the underlying hostility remains a major talking point. Chimaev recently expressed confidence in his opponent, stating, "Clowns always talk. Bro, he hasn't shot any chickens in the world. How is he going to shoot a human? I don't think the guy wants a war outside the cage. If he wanted it, he'd be dead already. Bro, in New Jersey, this is a Muslim community. It's my home, so I don't think he's going to come out with a gun there. Otherwise, there would be a lot of people in jail." Odds reflect the strong support for the champion, with odds makers heavily favoring Chimaev at -535, while Strickland is positioned at +400. Fans are set for a chaotic fight week, leading up to what promises to be an even wilder fight night. Carlos Prates is aggressively positioning himself for a shot at the UFC Welterweight Championship following his recent victory at UFC Perth. Following a third-round TKO win over former welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena, Prates asserted he should be the undisputed #1 contender at 170 pounds. Speaking at the post-fight press conference, Prates stated, "I should be next. Nobody beats two former champs on that really good way. They never do by knockout and then I come there and make it look easy. I respect to them, they are tough. But against Leon, against JDM, I make it look like easy. And I'm the next. Nobody did it." Prates is currently on a 3-fight winning streak, securing finishes in every bout, including knockouts over Jeff Neal and former UFC welterweight champion Leon Edwards. This recent performance has significantly boosted his standing in the division. While his stock has never been higher after rebounding from a previous loss to Ian Machado Gary in April 2025, the two fighters have reportedly become amicable, with speculation mounting about a potential rematch for the title. With the official UFC welterweight rankings update pending, Prates is expected to secure a higher ranking, potentially displacing Jack Della Maddalena from the #2 spot. The landscape for the title shot remains competitive, with Ian Machado Gary also claiming a strong position regarding Islam Makhachev. Prates' momentum suggests a prime opportunity is on the horizon for a major title opportunity. Jack Della Maddalena's team has released a statement following a brutal third-round TKO loss at UFC Perth against Carlos Prates. Della Maddalena suffered his first career stoppage defeat, as Prates systematically dismantled him with a devastating array of strikes. This marks the first time Della Maddalena has been stopped by strikes since his MMA debut in 2016. The victory for Prates is considered one of the biggest wins of Della Maddalena's MMA career to date, potentially positioning Prates for a shot at the UFC welterweight title against Islam Makhachev, though Ian Machado Gary is expected to have the opportunity first at UFC 330. In the immediate aftermath, Della Maddalena's team at Scrappy MMA acknowledged the outpouring of support on social media. Their statement read that while the team was hurting, they are committed to rebuilding and coming back stronger, thanking fans for their messages of support. The loss brings Della Maddalena to 2 consecutive losses for the first time since 2016, when he started his MMA career with 2 stoppage losses. Despite the setback, Della Maddalena remains a highly decorated fighter, having won 18 fights in a row after his debut, culminating in his reign as UFC welterweight champion. His overall UFC record stands at 8-2, with 5 wins coming by stoppage. However, the manner of defeat raises concerns. Unlike previous bouts where Della Maddalena avoided being knocked down, he sustained 3 knockdowns by Prates and significant damage to his legs and body. This pattern of taking career-altering damage while on a winning streak is a point of concern for analysts. Following the loss, Della Maddalena's rankings are expected to drop slightly with the upcoming UFC rankings update. Despite this, his status as one of the top welterweights remains intact. Potential opponents for Della Maddalena moving forward include Mike Malott, Euros Medic, and Gabriel Bonfim. If he secures a win against Bilal Mohammed in June, UFC figures suggest Della Maddalena may be utilized in a gatekeeping role for the near future amid his recent record. Amanda Nunes remained unfazed by the cancellation of her scheduled fight at UFC 324, confirming she was unconcerned about card placement. Speaking to BJ Penn, Nunes stated, "It don't bother me at all." Nunes was slated to make a comeback following her retirement in 2023. However, the plan for UFC 324 was not for her bout to headline a major pay-per-view, as the interim lightweight title fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett was set for top billing. The situation changed when Nunes' scheduled opponent, Kayla Harrison, was removed from the fight after sustaining neck surgery. While the women's bantamweight title bout is expected to be rescheduled, no new date has been announced. In an interview with MMA Junkie, Nunes emphasized her singular focus, reclaiming her championship status. "If UFC put it in the main event, it would be great. If it's the co-main event, if it's the first fight of the night, I want my belt back. It don't bother me at all. I want to just step in the cage for the fight. This is what I like to do, what I'm born to do. I'm a champion. I'm going to go for the belt. The first fight of the night or the last one, I don't care. I just want my belt back," Nunes asserted. Nunes' last professional MMA contest occurred in June 2023, when she held both the women's bantamweight and featherweight titles, highlighted by a successful defense against Irene Aldana at UFC 289. Despite retiring, Nunes maintained a connection with Harrison, as they were former training partners who shared mutual respect and an interest in competing in the octagon. BJ Penn, will continue to provide updates on the potential rescheduling of the Nunes versus Harrison matchup.